One. All right. If you're listening to this, this is a special edition because never in our life we have spoke English. Pero and I always speaking Spanish. I was thinking, I was coming, I was driving here, I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna speak English with this guy. So it's kind of weird. So Pero, how you doing?
I'm good, Juan. Thank you. Yeah, first time we ever speak English to each other, I
Mhm.
think. So it will be a weird one, but a good one at the same time.
Yeah, I'm excited. Honestly, it took me like 4 months and years to bring this guy up here. A really, really busy person, and finally, so I'm excited to have this conversation. I think Pierre has been someone I learned from when I was in Harrisburg. And honestly, I have like since I met him, I have been impressed on the things that he has been doing. So I'm not gonna waste his time explaining who is he. So I will just let him go ahead and talk a little bit about himself, talk about the Pokemon things that he's doing as well, because I want to learn more. That show you that goalkeepers are also people in life. And yeah, so talk to us. Tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm Pierocarlo Previte. I'm 25 years old, and I'm from Venezuela, that little country in South America.
Hmm.
I decided to coach, 2 years ago, my senior year in college. I wasn't enjoying playing anymore. I wasn't enjoying the day to day of a college athlete. So I decided to start exploring the coaching path. And I had few opportunities and I fell in love with it.
Hmm.
Uh, right now I'm at University of South Alabama, Division One program in Mobile, Alabama. We compete in the Sun Belt. We had a decent year last year. We had a record of 10-4-4, which is a good season. So I believe that the way we worked towards our goalkeepers helped us a lot last year to achieve that record.
Hmm. And honestly, here he's kind of being humble at talking not that great about Sarolama, but honestly, Sarolama is one of the best programs in the Sun Belt. So the fact that he has that position over there tells a lot about the kind of person that he is. And with that being said, so a little bit about you. You mentioned you're from Venezuela. You came here right now, you're in the United States. I want to go through, or my goal through this conversation is to go like to different topics. And one of the ones that I really want to talk in is your life as international coming to United States, your transition from okay, I'm here in Venezuela, I'm playing. How did you transition to find a college? And then we can start talking more about the coaching. But I think it'll be great if on this episode we can cover that part of like if I'm an international person and I was international as well, how can you make it to America? How was all your process, all just your story basically?
For me, it was a tricky one. I didn't know what I was going to do. 16 years old, you don't know what you're gonna do with your life. You don't know if you want to leave the country. You don't know if you wanna keep playing soccer. You don't know if you wanna quit because you are in that age that, look, if you haven't made your debut, especially back home, if you haven't gotten few contract offers, or if you haven't just gotten out of your city, you kind of know where you're heading into. And that's a sad reality of back home as well. Like if you don't have the connections, you don't make it. As simple as that. So I started listening to some people. Hey, why don't you go to the States? Why don't you try luck up there? I thought about it, but before knowing I was actually going to play college, I decided, well, my family sent me to Boston for a year. Okay, you're gonna go and you're gonna learn English because the situation back home wasn't the best. And I was taking a gap year. I was just 17 when I first moved out of my house. So I came to the States. When I knew English, when I learned English,
Mhm.
I had to move to Italy. And I lived in Italy for a year. And that's when I was told what do you want to do with your life? And I decided, okay, I'll go back to the States. So I contacted an agency. There was someone from my hometown. She owns an agency and she walked me through it and showed me the opportunities, and I decided, yes, this is what I want to do. While being in Italy, I committed to a community college, St. Louis Community College, because I didn't have an SAT by then. I didn't have a big TOEFL. My TOEFL was 61, which is the minimum for a lot of schools.
Mhm.
After failing it 3 times.
Wow.
Uh, so yeah, I went to the JUCO. First weekend, coach resigns. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Co- COVID hits. We had only 2 sessions. Of course, I showed up. St. Louis Community College comes from being top 20 JUCO in the country. By then, it
Mhm.
was only Division 1 and Division 3, so the level was really high. Because for the people that don't know, in JUCO, you will find a lot of top players that just don't have the grades. They
Mhm.
don't have the grades, they don't have the English. So I think that the JUCO path for certain people is big time. You will find, like I have seen guys from, for example, Italy national team, they go to Daytona State College. As
Yeah.
simple as that. Eastern Florida, they have those opportunities. And they come from top academies, from top schools as well, D1 dropouts, etc. So yeah, first weekend, coach resigns, COVID hits, we trained once, this 17-year-old in a team full of grown men, 25, 27-year-olds. Of course, I didn't do well.
Mhm.
Really humbling time for me, really humbling moment. I got caught, had reality, got caught, and I couldn't move to other places because I had signed a list, so I couldn't break the list. So I was stuck. Coach transferred to another school that was like 40 minutes away, gives me a call and said, Piero, I'll take you with me. So he takes me there. First season cancelled.
Yeah.
Cancelled because of COVID. So I got pushed back. So I got to play spring and fall same year because of the COVID year. Season didn't count, of course. So yeah, that's how I got to the States. As an international, it wasn't easy because, like it is not easy. You get to a new place, you know people, you're not the best one with the language, even though you're getting into a team, not everyone is your friend. That's the hard reality. And that's something I have seen and felt here in the States. Like a lot of times you go to teams and people inside the team, they don't like each other a lot. At
Mhm.
least here. There is just small groups and yeah, that was my experience at least on my first team. Then had 2 years and a half at East Central College. Really good team. We did well. Uh, we got to conference semifinal every year. We were top 25, top 20 every year. It just we couldn't get past there. We had a really small squad. And then I decided to transfer to University of Mobile.
Mhm. And then in the University of Mobile, you play for how long?
2 years. No,
Uh,
three. Three. Actually, I was there for 3 seasons. Yeah.
3 seasons, and then you made the transition to start coaching, right?
So yeah, like on my third season is when I decided to coach. So it's funny because I wasn't planning into it.
Mhm.
I started coaching little kids club, local club, and all of a sudden I get a message. Uh, Head coach from Spring Hill College, Sam Thompson, who I'm really grateful for. Send me a text. Hey, I'm Sam from Spring Hill, blah blah. I'm looking for a goalkeeper coach, and I would like to see if you're interested. And this is me just landing in Miami, 10 a.m. day before catching a flight to go back home.
Mhm.
This was probably first or second time me going back home since I moved to the States. So yeah, I see the message. Yes, willing to talk. So I talked to her. I liked what we talked. As soon as I come back from Venezuela, good, ready to go. My first season, my first spring coaching. Wow, what I
Yeah.
have to learn, what I had to learn. Everything it was new for me. And then
Uh-huh.
I decided I didn't enjoy training anymore. I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy training anymore. I didn't enjoy playing anymore. I didn't enjoy any of that. I
Mhm.
liked coaching. So one day I just decided and went to talk to my head coach and said, look, this is what's going on. Would you take me on staff? Or would you let me help you out?
Mhm.
And he said, yes. Coach Daniel Whelan, he's not there anymore. Now I can say Bestie, how everybody calls him. I talk to him almost every day.
Best
Calls
what?
me.
Best what?
Huh?
Best what? What is it? You could say what?
Bestie, bestie. Everyone calls him
Oh, best.
bestie,
Uh-huh.
bestie.
Wow.
So now I talk to bestie almost every day, maybe 4 or 5 times a week. I call him, he calls me. We talk about
That's great.
South, we talk about teams, players, etc. We share ideas and stuff. So yeah, that's how everything
That's
started.
amazing.
First
And
season.
we're gonna go a little bit more deeper into the coaching and the things that you learn. But before we move on, I think you brought out a really important point to whoever is listening, especially on the men's side. I believe if you're trying to come to United States, or even if you're American and you're having that dream of playing Division One and you want a specific university and all of that, I don't think you should take away the option of doing a junior college. I also went to junior college, and like Pedro was saying, like the level is still really good. Again, in the men's side, especially, you can find all these players transferring to Division One or other stuff. So there is a reason, a scholarship, grades, or there is a reason why some of these players land over here. Now, in the women's sides, what I have noticed, I don't know, Perry, if you're in the same page, I think there is a little bit bigger of a gap just because of the sense of like the resources that the universities will have. So, for example, in a Division One, there will be more mandatory of like lifting, more mandatory of like training sessions, individual training sessions, that I feel that unfortunately we haven't created the environment where in the junior college players are seeking to that if they are not demanded of doing that. Meanwhile, on the men's side, I think that external motivation of wow, I want to play professional, no, oh, I want to be a great nurse or stuff like that, sometimes bring that gap a little bit closer. Where if you don't have the resources on the junior college, you still from your own motivation are willing to do these extra things that sometimes again is not being found on the woman's side. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I 100% agree. Also, you have to think that a lot of cases that going to to junior college is, guys that are willing to go to the middle of nowhere in Texas, for example, the middle of nowhere in Nebraska, states that are not, maybe cities that are not as big, or just, I have friends that have been in little towns that is just a gas station, Walmart, one barber shop, and the college.
And what McDonald's?
So
Don't forget about the McDonald's.
exactly, like, and one McDonald's 45 minutes away. So
Yeah.
when you talk about it, like, a lot of boys, a lot of, at least in men's, they will be like, you know what? I'll struggle. I'll push through it for 2 years. I'll do my best because what I care about is soccer, football.
Hmm.
Uh, I'll get out. While a lot of girls are like, oh no, I want to be nearby my hometown. I want to be able to see my parents once a week. I want to be close to my friends. So I don't want to go south. I don't want to go up north because it's too cold,
Hmm.
which is valid. But because at the end of the day is your life. But
Yeah.
what sacrifices you want to put on the line in order
Hmm.
to achieve what you actually want to achieve. Now, there are other cases in uh, women's in junior college, like Daytona State. They won back-to-back national championships in junior college Division One, and they have one girl that's going to Florida State,
Hmm.
NCAA
Paying a
Division
lot of
One
money as
national
well.
champion.
Yeah.
So there are those cases. Don't get me wrong. There are those cases. It's just it's not as common as
Hmm.
in Mets. So that's when we talk about that gap.
Yeah.
It all comes down to how much you want it and when you are actually willing to give up for it.
Well, I love that part. It comes down of how much you want it and how much you're willing to do for it. And like we can see on the case of your case, basically, you come in here with all these sacrifices, like not knowing the language, not knowing where you're going, all this stuff. COVID hit, all like it sounds like you went to a lot through that stages. Let me ask you, like, what were, and I believe human beings, and this is outside of soccer, like we grow a lot when we go through all these stages of like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what to do in my life, but at the end, I end up being successful. What do you think you learned during that stages of facing these challenges?
So I think the big part was the resilience, how much I actually wanted it. Because yeah, there were some situations with my coaches that I didn't like. That afterwards I got to know a lot of reasons. So I got to know that I actually praise my resilience really big. When I get something in my head, I'm gonna really work for it, and I'm gonna find a way to do it, even if I have to do 20 things at the same time. But I'm gonna find a way to do it.
Hmm.
So I think resilience, my patience got better because I'm not patient at all.
Yeah.
So right now I'm really calm down, and I think that helped me a lot. And also it, like made me get through tough situations and now see the good picture even in the bad environment. So
Well,
right now I'm, grateful for those experiences, grateful for the ups and the downs that have made me be the person I am today.
mhm. Um, Culture wise, not much about soccer. You can also bring up like soccer things. What do you think were like your most eye opening moments of like, wow, America is different because of this? The way they see soccer is different here. In Venezuela, we do things one way. Here, they're doing it a different way. We can be culture, it can be soccer. Like, what are some things that you find different?
Well, people here are, I, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is great people in this country. I'm super grateful for this country and the opportunities I have gotten. But people here is not as open as back home.
Hmm.
Back home, if someone doesn't know you, they will give you their hand still, at least until a certain point. I remember days, I remember like never took like, in Venezuela, public transportation, at least in my city, is not a big thing. So I, first time taking a bus, didn't know where to go, didn't know anything. I would ask people would laugh at my face just because my English wasn't good. A really humbling experience again. But yeah, like a lot of people, at least up north, they're cold. But here down south, people are way nicer, in my
Hmm.
opinion or my experience. So I think that's the main thing. Like culture wise, like how warm we are.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's South America in general, like
Yeah,
how we
100%.
are with people.
Me coming from Colombia, I can really back up that in a sense of like that sense of friendship, of culture, of wanting to know like how's your Christmas, how's your family, how's the people doing, how's Happy New Year. Those little small details that sometimes do lack on the American culture. And it's not in a sense of like American doesn't or like the person doesn't really care about you or something. It's just about different culture and different things. So you need to be aware about those behaviors and those understanding as well. So okay, good. You went from that experience, a student, you start coaching. You mentioned you needed to learn a lot. So how did that go? How did that transition to I'm coming from a player and now I'm heading to start coaching? How did that go?
So it was tough because the main thing that I think a lot of coaches don't realize, and I think this has been key of my success, is that what works for you might not work for me.
Hmm.
Our bodies are different. We are not the same height. We don't weigh the same. We are not as quick. Our reaction time is not the same. Our attributes are not the same. Our backgrounds are not the same. So how can I find a way to make it work for you? What I'm trying to explain that worked for me. So that was the main thing at the beginning. I will hit my head against a wall because it wasn't going how I wanted it to go. But then once I realized that, the puzzle started to get to look good, like the puzzle started to come along. And I think that way I started getting a little better after every session,
Hmm.
and also listening from the goalkeepers. Like that season at Spring Hill, uh, Carlota, who was the goalkeeper by then, had won goalkeeper of the week back to back, which was the first time in history. And by
Yeah.
then, was the highest amount of clean sheets in a season. By then, that record is broken already. This season, they had a great season. Uh, but a lot came from feedback from players. Hey, how do you like this? What do you think about this? Even though I was the one putting everything together,
Hmm.
every now and then I will talk to them and see if they liked it, if they didn't like it. how they felt about it. And I always said, I'm a human. I make mistakes as well. If you feel something is wrong, let's talk about it and let's find why you think is wrong and why I think is not wrong.
Hmm.
So I think that that was the main thing, like finding every little bench of trust from them
Hmm.
and believed on what I was telling them and showing them that it worked in a way that it worked for them.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that aspect of like the vulnerability and the feedback. I think if we're doing a plan together, there's no reason of why you're gonna point back to me and tell me it's your fault, because in reality we did it together. So that's a
Yeah.
really important task as a coach, as a goalkeeper coach, and just delegating people. So I ask you this question because I went through the same stage as well. Um, Whenever I started coaching, one of the goalkeepers I was coaching played against Mbappe. So I don't know how you felt whenever you were facing your first training, your first practice, where people sometimes will have this mentality of like, "Oh, am I good enough? This goalkeeper is better than me. Am I capable to coach?" I don't know if you went through that, and if you did, like how did you went through those scenarios?
I mean, I think it's all personality. People that know me, they know I don't care what you think. Like
Hmm.
I don't care what you think about me. Like I'll show you I know what I'm doing. Of course, I don't know everything. I'm
Yeah.
always willing to learn and listen ideas from other people. Always open to to chat about new things. But at that point, I was the one in charge. So
Hmm.
at the end of the day, you have to listen to me, even if you don't like it. If
Yeah.
you have something to complain, something to fight, you can talk to me. I'm a human. We can talk to each other. We can solve it that way. If not, there is a head coach. Go talk to a head coach. Head coach will talk to me. As simple
Hmm.
as that. And also, I'm not the oldest one. I'm 25. Right now, my oldest player is 24.
Yeah.
So literally, it's like you could be my friend.
Hmm.
We could be in the same class. You know what I mean? We could be siblings as well.
Hmm.
Like, is that like fine line of respect of yes, I'm not the oldest one for for a reason. I've gotten here, so just respect. Let's respect each other. Let's get the work together because at the end of the day, we have the same goal to accomplish. We both want to win.
Hmm.
So I think it goes both ways. Like it's a tricky one.
Definitely. The sense of respect, I think that's a huge one. For me, again, back to it, like going back to my days where I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm coaching these people. They are better than me. I'm coaching Division One athletes, and then I coached in the USL too. And the thought was like, how do I earn that respect? Right. So how can you earn that respect? How do you think you can earn that respect?
Well, there are too many ways to earn respect, right? There's some people that think the more strict you are, the more respect you'll get.
The more what? Sorry?
Uh, the more strict,
Okay.
the more
Uh-huh.
straightforward, the more strict you are. I think I earn the respect by just being humble to them, by just showing them, look, this is why we're doing this. This is the plan I have. I want the best for you. I care
Hmm.
about you. I think that's really big right now, especially in college soccer. Especially when we talk about transfer portal, because like a lot of kids, they go to big schools and they don't play. So then they go to a school where they play and like they were big time for 3 years ago, and right now maybe they're not as big time they were, and you know it hits you, so your confidence is low. Okay, I trust you.
Hmm.
Let's do this together. So I think that's a big part of how I got the respect from my players, and also communication. I always told them, if you make a mistake from something I told you, I'll take the blame. I'm a
Hmm.
human, you're a human, I'll take the blame. Putting them in that line of trust that you can trust me, I got your back. I think that's one way to respect. And but also there are times like the other day. So we do IDPs. IDPs, like it's functional groups. Goalkeepers will come together just for an extra hour in a day. We don't have practice, something like that. I show up, there are no balls. When they get the balls are flat.
Hmm.
I lost it. Of course I lost it because that's not for me.
Yeah.
It was freezing outside. I would have loved to be inside in the warm doing all my computer work, all
Hmm.
my admin stuff. I would have loved it. That's not for me. That's for you guys. So of course there, like I had to snap, even though I didn't want it. I had to. Like it's one of those that okay, like this is serious. Take it serious, or I'm
Mhm.
gone. Like practice is done. As simple as that. So I think is just in the moment. Like how you approach every situation.
Yeah, setting I mean, three things that you mentioned are really important: setting the standards and being legit with your standards. It cannot be something that
Yeah,
one day I'm okay with it, another day I'm not fine with it, because then we're painting that gray line that a
yeah.
lot of players are happy to play with that gray line. Also, I mean, if you're new coaching, and again, you're probably facing the same that Pierre and I are facing. We're young goalkeeper coaches. We're young coaches, and we probably coach people that are like 2, 3 years younger than us. And I think the part of the vulnerability is crucial. We don't know anything, and even if we know everything, things will change tomorrow. That's the reality of this sport. So we don't know everything for sure. And second of all, you earn respect by the same way that you earn respect to yourself. So put in the work, knowing that you're seeking education, knowing that you're spending times in the office, looking at videos, trying to learn, you're making the questions, you're making the contacts, you're working on yourself, you're working on this. Trust me, that wins the respect not only from yourself, but also from the players that are around you. So I think that's really good that you shared that with us. Mm, So now, again, kind of same story as me. I went from coaching men's to the women's side. How was that transition, and what has been some stuff that you have noticed being different?
So the speed of the game is different, of course. The speed of the game is different, and if you watch women's soccer games, you will see that there are some trends that, at least goalkeeping wise, that you cannot do at least on the men's side. A lot of times you will see that on a cutback on the women's side, a girl will take an extra touch before hitting the ball. So how can you approach that into your goalkeeping session? You know what I mean? Like on men's, usually cutback comes, first time touch, finish. On women's, a lot of times, at least on my conference in the Sun Belt, I I saw how a lot of players will take a touch before finishing into a cutback. So I had to modify my sessions tailor to that. You know what I mean? And also the way, like in men's on the locker room, they will put someone against the wall. I get your stuff together. Let's go. In women's, I feel that I cannot snap like that. In men's, like I remember like telling one of my players, get your shit together. Let's go.
Hmm.
Like it's time. He didn't score for in the first 7 games, and then he scored 23 goals in a season.
Hmm.
Like I remember one day sitting down with him, like straightforward, like what's going on with you? And I'm not saying it was because of my talk, but a game after he started scoring, that game he had a hat trick and he started scoring because I don't know, maybe I talked and then the head coach talked and then the assistant talked. And yeah, I think it's that. I think it's that, like how straightforward men's soccer it is, in my opinion, that makes the big difference.
Hmm. The honesty and to be fair, like we're not coming here and saying like, oh, you cannot be straightforward with a female,
No,
because
no, no.
100% they also want to be coached in that way.
Yeah.
Because you need to be a little bit more aware about feelings,
Yes.
emotions, and questions, because women will tend
Yes.
to make more questions about why are they doing this stuff. And something that I needed to understand as well, it wasn't because they are trying to find a reason or judging, it's just because out of the blue they are really curious about it. I think
Yeah.
that one of the reasons between men's that I was like, all right, let's dive, and the men's will go and dive, and the female will be like, why are we diving? So
Yes.
finding that balance. How do you deal with that? How do you battle with those things?
So it's been tough.
Mhm.
Like the other day was doing a drill and like, goalkeeper one, good. Goalkeeper two, good. Goalkeeper three, why are we doing this? What's the whole point of this? I remember
Uh-huh.
back home I will say that. You are gone. You are gone. You are
Yep.
gone. Don't come back. You are gone. East Central, I will say that. You can go home. Don't
Mhm.
show up for the whole week. Mobile, I will say that. They will laugh at my face. Go away. So I had to chew it. explain why, kept my standard. Of course, I was mad. She
Mhm.
knew I was mad. Keep going. You gotta do it anyway. I'm so sorry. You don't like it? I'm so sorry. You gotta do it anyway.
Mhm.
Uh, but there is a reason why. There is a purpose behind everything we do as coaches. So I think that that's big part. They wanna know why.
Mhm.
So you know what I mean? Like as long as there is no like a bad thought behind, there is an actual question. I think there is nothing wrong to ask.
Yeah, 100%. And I think as a coaches, we and personally, I have found that those moments has occurred to me as well, where the goalkeeper is like, "What?" And to be fair, there have been there was one, and this is one of the biggest ones that I remember really well. I was doing this drill where the ball was going through the legs of the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper was chasing the ball. So like, we're never in the goal. We will never chase the ball backwards. I'm like, you know what? That's really I mean, it helps with the activity, whatever, but in reality, it's true. When are the odds that the goalkeeper is kind of chasing the ball, running away from that? And since that day, like I have never done that exercise. And it's the same thing. If we are able to have that conversation with keepers, you just need to find the right time to do it, goalkeeper. You're
Yes.
there, find the right time because I'm more than okay. And this is something that I always talk with my goalkeepers. Let's come to the office and we can talk. And I can show you, you can show me. And like Pero was saying at the beginning, what worked for me doesn't mean that will work for you. So even if I'm demanding you to do this, you can come later to me and be like, "Hey, this is not working because of X, Y, J, whatever," and then we can talk to that. So I think that's really crucial and really good that you brought up as well. So another thing that you mentioned really important for coaches listening, he mentioned how in the Sun Belt he found the trend of players having an extra touch in those cutback scenarios. We have had conversation with our coaches about how do we tailor our training regarding whatever the competition is. So South Alabama, how does the goalkeeper environment look like in South Alabama?
So we have a really tailored system of play,
Hmm.
how we want them to play, because South Alabama goalkeeping is not only Piero Previte, it's also Luigi Beausilo. Luigi, he's our associate head coach. He played for Haiti national team. He played against Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Robinho. He
Wow.
did play for the national team. So I have catched up and learned a lot from Gitch. I have learned a lot from him, and we share a lot of ideas. But the good thing is that we see goalkeeping kind of in the same way. We see soccer in general in the same ways. That's why we get along and like we can have conversations. And if we don't agree with something, we just get to the office, talk about it, fix it, done. Uh, so yeah, we have a system of play, but during season, I spend a lot of time watching how other teams score or how they shoot. So if you are a team that you play long balls, I'll target a lot of crosses, cutbacks, long balls. So I want to make sure you are ready for that. If you are a team that's a lot of through balls, the whole session during the week is gonna be tailored towards through balls, 1v1s, shots right outside the 18-yard box, stuff like that.
Hmm.
A lot of rebounds. So yeah, I'll spend a lot of time doing that. I'll see trends as well. Depends on who we play into. I'll see how their main goal scorer scores, how the most amount of goals she will score. So how they come from, how they're generated, what they look like, and I'll find a way to put stuff into drills that look as realistic uh, for that. Like I'll never forget. We go to play James Madison. They're playing uh, Ginny Lucky, really good player, really good player. She scored a lot of out of through ball 1v1 goal, and I did that a lot that week in practice.
Hmm.
And there is one save from Sierra in practice that was the same save 4 minutes to go against James Madison. We were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
So she kept us in the game that way. And just because of that, after that game, I realized how important to do your research is when it comes at least in Division 1 women's soccer
Hmm.
and find those little things. because they will make a massive change in every goalkeeper you coach.
Yeah. I 100% agree. 3000% agree. Like during season, especially again, like off season will be a little bit different because we don't have as much games. But during season is really crucial to tailor practice. And it's gonna be challenges, yes, because you don't have as much time as you will wish. But at least bring and recreate those scenarios as well as giving the visuals to the goalkeepers. So, as a goalkeeper coach, you will spend a lot of time watching a lot of video and in the office. So, what other things, what other tools do you have besides doing that whenever like you are developing a goalkeeper or like the things that you want to bring up for a goalkeeper?
So we use a lot of Y Scout, right?
Hmm.
They are, like we will we have access to Speedio, so they will watch Speedio. If they have questions, come with the times to the office anytime. I'll walk through it. We will watch highlights from professional female goalkeepers, uh, and put it through scenarios where we know you might face as well. So if she can do it, of course, she's a professional goalkeeper. She lives out of this. She plays Champions League. Uh, it's way different that you playing NCAA Division One. That it's 6 months, 4 months of the year.
Hmm.
Of course, they don't play 3 games in a week sometimes. So yes, we do a lot of video with them. We do a lot of film right after games. Uh, Before games, we have a list of expectations, what we want from them as goalkeepers, what we expect. Uh, and after games, they will get the times. I'll watch the game back, of course. I'll watch the crucial moments.
Hmm.
I'll go see if their set position was good. And if they have any questions, they will talk to me. If not, I'll come to them and be like, look, in the 15th minute, you did this, was good, but maybe you could have done this and we could have prevented this rebound, for example. Like little things like that, that I think that if you hammer, especially in the spring, because in the spring is when you actually have the time to fix mistakes or bad habits, you should have a really successful season, at least towards the goalkeeping department.
Yeah. You mentioned something at the beginning as well with the IDPs of just the player development. How do you normally manage all this stuff in a sense of like one goalkeeper has one IDP or a goalkeeper has another IDP, but we're still working on the same session or stuff like that? Like, how do you manage that?
So in the IDPs, of course, they will meet one on one, right? We will talk about their development and stuff. But uh, I will literally take the group, okay, and we will work in one topic. So the whole hour will be just, let's say, if I'm really big into the scooping technique. I
Hmm.
think that the modern goalkeeping uh, has avoided the scooping technique. And I think that's something that's not good because
I, I agree with
the scooping technique protects the ball, is smoother through your body. Like it's the if you do the mechanics right, it should not feel weird. The scooping technique, you're protecting the ball with your knees as well behind, while a lot of coaches will just tell the kids to, put their hands through, their legs are wide open, ball will go through. Like if I smash the ball,
you. Yeah.
you're not gonna catch it. And if you miss the ball, at least your knee's gonna protect the ball if you do the scooping technique right or something, your body will protect the ball. So we will do stuff like that. We will try to find a way to make them fit, but goalkeeping fit. Like we want them to be strong in their core because we need power. So there are certain things I can do with the whole group. Now, if I know you're missing something, I had one of the goalkeepers come to me and said, Piero, I need to come back and do close range shots from 12 yards out. Okay, let's come out tomorrow. We will do 25 minutes just of
Mhm.
that. We will warm up and then 25 minutes. More than happy to help. You know, again, it's involuntary, it's not mandatory. You are coming to me.
Yeah.
So that if I see that you are, I don't know, how can I say, you are not diving right, like you're diving backwards. or you're diving and you're putting your elbow down to the ground when you dive. Uh, I'll point that out and I'll tell you, come, I don't know, Tuesday morning before session, 15 minutes early. Let's just get the mechanics right. Let's warm it up and then we go from there. Just trying to find those little gaps to try to avoid those mistakes because, again, a lot of things, if the mechanic is not performed well, a lot of times you can lead that into a big injury, especially
Mhm.
like when a goalkeeper lands with the elbow down, shoulder can pop out. It
Yeah.
has happened before.
Yeah, or just the diving. If they're diving
Yeah.
backwards, they will hit the post or something weird. I agree with you. It seems like the one of the best ways to alternative to actually work on individual player development is finding individual moments, basically. I mean, it
Yes.
sounds silly, but definitely. Like, of course, you can play with sessions at some point, but I'm not that big of a fan of like, oh, this is gonna be my focus, and then the next goalkeeper gonna come, and this is gonna be my second focus, or boom, I'm changing my mentality between sets or other stuff. I think you create a plan between players, you, whatever, and then we execute, and then we find time for each individual player. Either
Yeah.
now, for example, like you were saying, let's say one keeper has the needs of the scoops, then I might be aware about that. And besides putting all the shots to the right, I might boom shoot it to her for to the scoop, and then we can analyze video on those things. I think
Yeah.
that's the only way that you can actually play through it when you have all the goalkeepers in the similar scenario. We were talking, or you were talking about the scoop. I'm a big fan of the scoop. We were talking at the beginning about cultures, different coaching systems, old versus modern goalkeeping and all of this. Like, how do you, what are your thoughts on this basically? Like, how goalkeeping has changed? Is it going through a better way? Are people losing their mind because now we're spreading, or like all of this modern goalkeeper thing? What are your thoughts?
I think in the goalkeeping community there is a massive, but massive misunderstanding in general. I'm a big believer on that. And why? Because the modern and the very old are two different things. Before, the goalkeeper only used to make saves. As long as you made the saves and kept a clean sheet, we good. Now the goalkeeper has to build out. Now the keeper is another midfielder. Now you start the play. Everything comes out from the goalkeeper. At least if you play for a team that wants to build out, wants to play out of the back, you need a goalkeeper that can pass the ball, can pink the ball, can drive the ball. Like, you need a keeper that can dribble as well at times. So it's really different, and I think that too many people only focus on one thing and
Mhm,
just one way to coach, which I think, I mean, you do you, but I don't think it's right, because the more ideas you pick, because there is always something good from every single thing you see. So as long as you pick the good part, nice. Like in
mhm,
South America, at least in Brazil, you will see a lot of diving, get up, go down, dive, get up, go down, like 100 miles an hour. I
mhm,
was never a big fan, but there are moments you need to do that at least. Not every day. I don't see when you're gonna be in a game and you're gonna go up, down, catch here, up, down. I don't see it. But maybe one day just to have fun with the girls, like, get it going for 5 minutes just to, at the end of practice, hey, let's see who can do this best. And, like the other day, had a little competition, let's do this, and stuff like that. But I'm a big fan of the German school,
mhm.
big, big fan. And I really like Manuel Neuer.
Yeah.
I really like him. Uh, but still, I try to pick some from South America. I pick some from the English school. I pick some from the Spanish school. I pick some from the Italian school. Like, Gigi Buffon was my favorite goalkeeper.
Mhm,
Buffon was my favorite goalkeeper, and he react a lot. A lot of times he will cross his feet. A lot of times he will dive backwards as well. Right? Uh, do I think he was wrong? Well, for a reason, he was a world champion, and I'm just a coach,
yeah.
right? He was good at what he was doing. Like, I'm not saying it worked. Again, it worked for him.
Yeah.
Now, soccer nowadays is different. Was he great on his footwork? I don't think he was great on his footwork. He Like I don't think it was as good as Neuer's, for example.
Hmm.
Uh, so I think that finding that sweet point between all the different goalkeeping schools and types of goalkeepers is what's gonna make you succeed, because you cannot be like a horse that's just racing and looking forward. No, you need to be able to look to the sides and say, okay, Juan is doing something right at Miami,
Hmm.
or I don't know, JP is something doing right now that he's in Michigan. Like something like that.
Yeah.
Like you have to talk to other people. You have to see what other people is doing as well, because that's the only way you're gonna succeed. You cannot just narrow yourself down and be like, okay, I'm the best, and just because I do it this way and I had only one good season, I'm the best goalkeeper coach.
Mhm.
No, it does not work like that.
Yeah, I agree. And it always been open mind and question. But not only because you told me today that you don't believe on diving, I'm gonna change my whole thing only because you said that. And then
Exactly.
tomorrow I talked with JP and JP told me you need to dive 3,000 times. And now I'm coming Thursday. I'm like, oh no, actually never mind. We're diving 3,000 times. So as long as you have a plan and you have some metrics that you can back up those plans, or just watching videos from, okay, we start preseason like this, and now I'm watching the same goalkeeper 1 year ago. Wow, has she improved on this stuff? Are the things that I'm doing working? Well, then it is what it is. And again, like Pero was saying, it's not only Juan Seguel goalkeeping, it's some stuff that works for the team itself. So Pero might like a different kind of goalkeeper. South Alabama might like a different kind of goalkeeper. Miami might like a different kind of goalkeeper. Juan might like a different kind of goalkeeper. So the way that there's practice, the way that things will go, will depend a lot on that personal signature. And with that being said, I'm curious. I really want to hear, like, so you mentioned Neuer, you mentioned Ter Stegen. Well, not Ter Stegen, but the German school, basically. What are the things that really you like about them, and like what how does this school influences your philosophy of goalkeeping, of developing a goalkeeper?
I'm big time on composure. I love composure. Like it bores me when I see a goalkeeper rushing it all over the place, like not being calm. Because I'm a huge believer that the goalkeeper gives that calm to the defenders and starts from the goalkeeper. If your goalkeeper is shaky, you're gonna have more than one headache. Like your defense is not gonna trust him or her. Your midfield is not gonna trust them. Strikers, every time there is a shot, they're gonna grab their head. So I think if there is composure, like if there is a mistake from the defense, oh whatever, Juan is there in goal. That's fine. Like there is that trust, there is that calm. That's good. Uh, Again, composure, and more composure. Like
Hmm.
don't doesn't matter what situation is in the game, as long as you show you trust yourself, you are composed for whatever situation comes. Cut back, cross with a crowded box. You are in a corner and they put one person in front of you and another guy behind you. Uh, you go through those situations. I think that you are really winning with me,
Hmm.
because I need that calm. I need that you come, grab that cross, take a second, and then okay, what's the best option? I go instead of just come, grab that cross, and then just boot it out for no reason. There are moments where yes, you come, collect the cross, I look up, I go. There are moments maybe where you just come out, grab the cross, go down, kill some time, or just walk around the boats and then see what's the best option. Let the team get set. So I mean, just big believer on that. That's why I think the German school is big on me, because like, in my opinion, Neuer is really composed. Ter Stegen was really composed. Like, catch the ball, done, 1v1, set, spread. It's not just trying to rush it. I'm never been a big fan of, seeing someone going 300 miles an hour. Never been that guy.
And how do you put your environment in practice, for example, to be able to develop those characteristics of the goalkeeper that you're looking for?
So yeah, I'll go back to the cutback situation, right, that we talked about earlier. Uh, a lot of times I will guide and talk. They will see my hands. So when we were doing the tactical part of the drill of the session, because there is always a physical, there is an emotional part, there is a cognitive side, the reaction time. When I'm doing the tactical side of it,
Mhm,
a lot of times when we go back to the player taking a touch, at least in our conference, like sometimes I will either hit it first time just for the reaction, and a lot of times I will take my touch without telling them because I wanted them to be calm. A lot of times you will see the goalkeeper will just dive, even me faking shot. Not now. They will just calm, set themselves up, wait for the shot, and go. I will talk to them. Sometimes I wouldn't even serve. I'll be just talking through. They will serve themselves, and I will be talking through, guiding it how I want it to be done. And sometimes even though my back hurts, I'll just step up and be like, this is how I want it to look like. But again, if it works for me, it might not work for you.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like your conference is way different than mine.
Yeah,
The speed of the game in your conference is way different than mine. So maybe that composure at certain moments can be a risk for you. You know what I mean? But I know I found success on that, at least in the Sun Belt.
yeah. Regarding behaviors, like we can transition a little bit more of the goalkeeper itself, like advices to goalkeepers. What are some things that you think like you can start doing to continue growing, to continue bringing that presence, that composture to a game?
Again, I think film for composure is big. Film because
Mm,
they need to see how they look.
yeah.
So if they look rushed, they know they are not looking as good as they should. So maybe they can see in the video, oh, I look rushed. I should have calmed down and I should have done this. By the moment you know what you should have done, I know we are doing something right. But if I show you a video and you have no idea what's going on, that's when I actually worry, like
Mm,
100%, because there is no info getting in. But if I show you a video and you go right away, oh yeah, I should have sat here and maybe I should have tried this. Yes, you are getting my concepts. You're getting what I'm trying to teach you. But sometimes you won't get that. So you have to find a way to break it down and get it through for those players.
yeah. Uh, I'm here. I'm being selfish here, and out of curiosity. How often how does the video sessions take place in your environment? Like after each practice, are you cutting videos or every once a week or whenever the player comes with questions? Like how does it work with you?
So it depends. Of course, if you ask me to do session every day, I'll tell you. It's not that I will tell you no, but I'm like, look,
You'll say something else and then you'll have to say something.
I have 20 things to do, but
Yeah.
if I cannot do it that day, like at least if you want constant film, bring the time. Like
Mhm.
bring the time, I'll fit 15 minutes for you. You bring the times instead of me having to scan through, because imagine watching practice every day back. You go to practice an hour and a half, and then watch an hour and a half back as well night. I mean, we are humans. We get
Yeah.
tired as well. Like, so uh, yeah, like come to me, talk. Maybe we can do it once a week. We can do it twice a week, or we play the 11v11 on Tuesday. I know someone will come to the office by Thursday or Friday to ask for film because
Mhm.
that's how it works. And I'm actually glad that you have questions and you want to come and talk to me about them,
Yeah.
which is totally fine because that only shows that you just want to get better.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, I'm never against it. I really, I really don't want you to be in the office 24/7 asking questions about film. If you have questions, come, but be mindful there is other and there are more players other than just you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will get the whole goalkeeping group together because I need them to see everything in general, something that one is doing good and the other ones are doing wrong, and something that everyone else is on the same page, or maybe something that three are doing wrong and only one is getting right. So that's the thing. So I think as long as there is a balance, because you don't want to overwhelm them with film
That's true.
either. You don't want to saturate them. You don't want them to give them too much info that will make them overthink. You don't want that.
Hmm.
You wanna keep them calm. You want them to learn as much as they can, because they will also learn from experience. So you can tell them, and they can be like, I don't know if you're right. Okay, you don't think I'm right? Okay, let's do this. Boom. Uh, Coaching a kid, 15-year-old boy, someone told him to start with his hands here. I said, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Because the thing is that the dad thinks that having two goalkeeper coaches is a good thing.
Hmm.
And like, okay, why are you doing that? Oh, because Ed's coach told me to do it. I said, that does not work.
Hmm.
Why? He goes, okay, if I smash a ball through your legs, how are you going to get there? So the kid goes and reacts, split save, falls back. I'm like, okay, now what if I do this? So I literally smashed the ball through his legs again. Ball went through his legs. I said, how are you going to save that? He goes, there is no way I can save that. Okay, there you go. That's your explanation. You learn by experience that that does not work.
Yeah, 100%. That's crucial. I think through all these conversations, probably people that are listening, the two people that are listening, are kind of finding the same answer of film. Film is a crucial thing. Film is something that I wish I knew early as a goalkeeper coach, because, like Pero was saying, seeing yourself like open up your eyes. Like in reality, whenever like visualization is one of the biggest skills you can have. So whenever like you're seeing yourself failing or just watching yourself or have you having that touch or stuff like that, and then you compare yourself like how Ederson is watching the touch, your game gets fixates so much. Like you start understanding a lot of things when you start watching yourself, so start recording yourself a lot. The other thing that you mentioned as well, I think the experience, not only experience, but like you said, the player kind of realizing their own mistake, like then finding out like why in the world this is not working, and us as coaches being able to take the patience, because it's gonna take patience, of challenge them with questions or through environments where they end up finding the answer themselves. Besides us just telling like, "Oh, put your hands there," because what's gonna happen is that next practice they are gonna put the hands where they thought there was a proper right to put the hands, and they won't change that behavior. Okay, a long journey. I think we're 1 hour in, so I want to be mindful about your time and just a quick more questions about a lot of learning through all of this. What will be your best advices for goalkeeper coaches that are starting, goalkeeper coaches that are new on this or they have already been playing, and like what are some things that you have learned lately that you're like, wow, I wish I knew this early, or these are some tips or advices that I wish more people, more goalkeepers know that I do here?
Uh, First thing, always keep in mind that there is someone that knows more than you, so you cannot be cocky. Don't be cocky. Everyone hates a cocky goalkeeper coach. Don't be narrow-minded, and always try to know the why. Why I'm doing this drill? I'm planning this session? Because yes, you can do drills, but if there is no purpose, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Because one thing is a drill, and another thing is a drill with a meaning. There has to be, in my opinion, there has to be a meaning behind everything. And at the beginning, I did not know that. I did not know what certain drills were for. I did not know what was the purpose of my session at some days. I did not know that. And this is a span of year and a half ago.
Mhm.
I come from Division 2 NA, jump into South, massive cloud of information, go like a sponge, start getting everything in, everything as much as you can, but make sure that you know it. Other than that, I don't think I would have been able to do it,
Yeah.
because there is more than just kicking the ball into someone's hands or making a drill.
Mhm. Um, Through this conversation, Pero, you have been talking about a lot of things, and I often saying that whenever I met you, I was impressed because I feel we have a lot of similar values, like being humble, trying to learn as much as self, as internationals, trying to open ourselves as much opportunities as we can. Going to a gym in the morning. I remember he was like, "Oh, let's work out." I'm like, "Bro, what the heck? I just met you. I'm gonna work out with you." But all the things that I believe are really crucial values. No, not only for goalkeepers, but just regular person, goalkeeper coaches, human beings, whatever, whoever's listening to this. I think those are crucial. So if you had the chance of, again, not goalkeeping, not soccer wise, to advise some people, because you have made it, like you're in South Alabama, you have made a long journey, something to be proud of. What will be some tips that you'll tell anybody that is listening to this, or Pero, 5-year-old Pero? What will you tell him?
Be grateful. Be grateful for the people that open your doors. Because again, as I said at the beginning, Sam Thompson, super grateful for her because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be at South Alabama. Uh, be humble because again, no one wants a cocky person around them. There are moments to be cocky, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong to being cocky at certain times because if you achieved something, it's not, it wasn't given. You worked hard for it and you only know what you went through for it. So yeah, there are moments you have to be cocky, but be mindful of with who and how you do it. Uh, and that the truth will always come out. Just, like you are doing something right, and at the long run, people will see that you're doing something right. It's not a short distance run, it's more like a marathon. So it's rather to be steady and do well than just try to rush it to prove a point. Just calm down.
That's great. Awesome. I have one more question to finish, but before finishing, again, kind of saying back to what I was just saying, just to acknowledge you, Pero, honestly, because I believe, like I mentioned, like you have created yourself a lot of opportunities. And how old are you? 25, you said?
I just turned 25
You
2 days
turned
ago,
20. Okay.
3 days ago.
Oh, wow. I didn't say happy early. Happy early. Sorry. Um, I mean, I'm probably 2 years older than you. Again, like whenever I see you, I mean, it's gonna sound really petty, but whenever I see you, like you have a lot of traits that I believe will take you to some place really big. And I think it's hard to find people like this, honestly, people that are willing to put extra work, that are willing to wake up in the morning and just grind, even like when things are not well, or like when lack of opportunities are there, we're still finding a resource, finding a way, pushing ourselves. Like the guy just came from a practice basically. So he came for a practice, made the meeting, come in, and he's trying to find different alternatives to succeed, to find learning, to put yourself on those things. And those are the things that takes you to not only be in great positions like he's in Sorolama right now, but also just to that personal growth and that personal respect that we were talking, that composure in life is come from stuff like that. So this is incredible. So again, just to acknowledge you for being an example. I
Thank you.
hope a lot of people learn from you, get to know a little bit more about you. And if this is your first time listening about him, follow him on social media. I think, have you been posting on the regular, on this, no, on the soccer Instagram?
I haven't been. I have been just so busy with stuff. I'm trying to get things together. Like that's why sessions lately I've been trying to be
Yeah.
able to record them from Speedy and stuff, so I can make a couple cuts and start putting them back on. But I have content I need to edit, so I can
Mhm.
start posting again often.
Yeah. But again, like, look, he create his Instagram. He's having private sessions. Again, he's doing his Pokemon things. I don't know what the heck is that, but he's finding his opportunity. So really good for you to follow somebody like this, having a path like this. And here's the last question. Important question. It can break relationships. It can break friendships. Which you say your favorite goalkeeper is Buffon, so I'm not gonna ask you that. I know that Casillas is my favorite, but it's okay. We still accept people with mistakes. Um, the question will be favorite goalkeeper glove brand.
Full sport.
All right, guys. For some reason, we lost him. Wow, I love his answer though. I love his answer. That's a great goalkeeper glove brand. It's really underrated. Not gonna lie. Sport. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. I had the chance of using them once when I was a kid. I really fall in love with them. And when Lloris was using them when he was playing in Tottenham, I always would dream with those gloves. Unfortunately, there was a mistake, and this was during college, and they ended up buying me an Adidas glove, and then they gave me a Rouge or however you pronounce it, glove as well. But Unhuspur is a really good glove brand. And that's it. Thank you guys for whoever's listening, and hope you have a great one.